Hi everyone. I chose to share a part of the middle lesson of a 3-lesson unit on Sukkot geared toward kindergarten through second grade. So because I like to start every class with circle time and music, I thought what I would do is share with you the last 2 songs that we would do in our circle time in the second lesson, and then go into the set induction, which would set up the rest of the class. So because this is the second lesson, and we're going to go on the assumption that the children have learned a lot of the words, or at least most of the words to these songs. So we'll just do a quick review. So the first song we're going to do is the song parody for Sukkot, and for this one we need everybody to stand up. All right, and let's just quickly go over the hand motions. So it's shake the lulav. We're shaking the lulav all around. Smell the etrog. Dance around and have some fun. Let's get a little silly with that. Put your arms around each other. It is Sukkot. It is Sukkot. Chag Sameach, everyone. All right, everybody ready? Here we go. Get ready to shake your lulav. Shake the lulav. Smell the etrog. Dance around and have some fun. It is Sukkot. It is Sukkot. Chag Sameach, everyone. One more time. Shake the lulav, smell the etrog, dance around and have some fun. Arms around each other. It is Sukkot, it is Sukkot, Chag Sameach, everyone. Good job. Okay, we can all sit down now. And the next song we're going to go over is called This Is What We Need to Build a Sukkah. Okay, this is a little bit of a longer song, so if you don't remember the words in the verses, that's okay. But you did an awesome job last week on the chorus, so let's just quickly go over that. This is what we need to build a sukkah. Wood and branches, hammer and nails. This is what we need to build a sukkah for this holiday. And then we're going to go into the verses, and I don't know if you remember from last week, but at the very end we say, but don't forget that we must see, and the first time we sing it, it's the sun peeking at us through the roof. The second time we sing it, it's the sky peeking at us through the roof. And then the last time we sing it, it's the stars peeking at us through the roof. And you can look up at the roof. I won't be able to because I'm playing, but you can do don't forget and look up at the roof. Okay, here we go. This is what we need. This is what we need to build a sukkah. Wood and branches, hammer and nails. This is what we need to build a sukkah for this holiday. First verse. First we build a frame with wood and cover it with branches. Lots of fun to do, don't forget. But don't forget that we must see the sun peeking at us through the roof. Here comes the chorus. This is what we need to build a sukkah. Wood and branches, hammer and nails. This is what we need to build a sukkah for this holiday. Next verse. Now the time to hang the apples, carrots and bananas, pears and popcorn too, don't forget. But don't forget, we must see that we must see the sky peeking at us through the roof. This is what we need to build a sukkah. Good job. Wood and branches, hammer and nails. This is what we need to build a sukkah for this holiday. Last verse. After it is finished, we can eat inside the sukkah. We can sleep there too. Don't forget, don't forget that we must see the stars peeking at us through the roof. This is what we need to build a sukkah. Nice and loud now, everybody. Wood and branches, hammer and nails. Good job. This is what we need to build a sukkah for this holiday. Good job. Great. Okay, these are 2 of the songs that we're going to sing next week. in our sukkah when we have our big family party together. You're going to get to do those 2 songs and you're going to be awesome. Okay, at this point we would go into our set induction, and what I'd have the children do is lay down on the mats and close their eyes. Take it down a little bit, okay? And tell them we are going on an imaginary trip back in time. So everybody lay down, get comfortable, close your eyes. And it's very, very, very important that you be very quiet and that you listen to the sound of my voice so that we can all concentrate and think about some of the things that I'm saying. Here we go. Everybody ready? Close your eyes and come back with me to the ancient land of Israel. Let's pretend that we are farmers and we have been working all morning in the field. Today, we are picking the grapes that we planted just a few months ago. And right now, we're outside laying down to rest in our sukkah. Can you feel the earth underneath your back? Can you smell the soil? Can you hear the birds singing and the insects chirping? Can you see the sun peeking at you through the roof? Are you sore from working so hard all morning? Are you tired? Can you feel the sticky grape juice mixed with the dirt on your fingers? Let's pretend it's the middle of the day and it's very, very hot outside. We are taking a break for a little while in our sukkah to get some shade from the very, very strong sun. Are you thirsty from being out in the hot sun? Tell you what we'll do. Let's take a sip of pretend water. Feel it slide down the back of your very, very dry throat. Water never tasted so good. There's so much work to be done. And we don't have time to go back to our homes today or even tonight. So we will stay and sleep in this little hut to save some time. That way we can get up first thing in the morning and pick as much fruit as we can before the fruit spoils. I am so happy that there was enough rain during the growing season and that there were not that many insects to destroy our crops. Now that our crops have ripened, we are glad that there will be enough food to last us through the winter. Remember, we are back in ancient Israel, and there is no shop right down the street. So where do we find our food? We must plant the seeds that God has given us and grow the food ourselves. Let's think about God for a moment and about how thankful and grateful we feel for the things that we have in our lives. Can you share something that you're thankful for that came from God? I'll go first, okay? I am so thankful for the sky that I can see through the roof of this very sukkah. Sometimes I look at it without thinking about how beautiful it is. I like to think of the sky as a painting, a piece of art that changes for us over and over again, sometimes many times in one day. Who would like to share next? And then I would take some of the students' suggestions. So keep your eyes closed and raise your hand and I'll call on you. Jake, see, your hand is raised. Jake is thankful for the trees. That's a great one, Jake, and we're going to talk about the trees a little bit later on in the year when we talk about another holiday called Tu B'Shvat. Oh, Holland, I see your hand is up. Holland is thankful for the animals. Well, that's certainly something we got from God, and that's certainly something we should be very, very thankful for. Maya? Maya's thankful for the food. Well, we've been talking about the harvesting, and that's a perfect example of something that we got from God. Oliver? Oliver likes to imagine things in the clouds, so he's thankful for the beautiful white puffy clouds. Great job. And Tessa? Tessa's thankful for her parents. Well, we could say that your parents came from God since we were all created in the image of God. That's great. So I would go around the circle, and after everyone who would like to share has taken a turn, we would go back to our meditation. Let's rest a little longer before we go back out to continue picking. Feel your muscles start to relax as you lay on your backs. Take a deep breath. Now exhale. Excellent. Keep your eyes closed because now we're going to go back even farther in time. At this point, we would turn out the lights. We're still laying down in a sukkah, but this time we are with Moses in the wilderness. This time it is nighttime, and we are feeling cold. Why don't we all move a little closer to each other to try to keep warm? At least we have each other. Are you happy that you aren't a slave anymore? I am, but I wish we would reach the land of Israel so that we could build a permanent home for ourselves. Remember we talked about permanent last week as opposed to temporary, which is what a sukkah is? Good. Let's think about God again and remember how much God has done for us, freeing us from slavery, protecting us from Pharaoh, giving us Torah, sending us special food to eat in the desert. Thank goodness we have a sukkah to stay in and to protect us from the burning afternoon sun and the cold desert nights. Tomorrow we will take our sukkah down and move from this place. Wherever we go, we will put our sukkah back up to keep us safe and as dry as possible. God is watching over us, and hopefully soon we will enter the land that has been promised to us. So at this point, we would turn the lights back on, and I would ask the students to sit up, and we would share some of their thoughts and ideas, sensations, things that they were thinking and feeling during our pretend time. We would whip around the room, and some of the potential thinking questions might include, what do you think it was like to be a farmer so long ago in ancient Israel? Do you think it was an easy life or a hard life? How would it feel to live in a sukkah in the desert with the other Israelites? How exciting would it be to be there with Moses? Do you think it was fun? Do you think it was hard? What would be the best thing about living in a sukkah and the worst thing about staying in a sukkah for a long period of time? And then after that, we would get them up and moving a bit because they had been still for a little bit too long, and we'd go into our round-robin activities, which I would obviously have set up before the beginning of class, and which you can read more about on the attached lesson plan. So thank you so much for listening, and thank you also all of you for a wonderful semester of study together.